vaccine means everything for me. I mean, to my mind, it's the only way of getting back to a bit of normal life. You know, this virus is terrible, isn't it? I'm very pleased that I got the Oxford vaccine. Very pleased.
Well, for more on what's happening in the UK with its inoculation drive, let's speak to our health correspondent, Nicola Hill, who's joining us from London. Nicola, good to speak with you. Tell us more, if you can, about Brian, who we heard from just there, and who else is going to be getting that Oxford-AstraZeneca vaccine in the first days.
Well, Brian Pinker, whom you just saw there, and he's 82, he has to have dialysis, he's a retired mechanic, and what's a lovely story with him is that he will be celebrating his 48th wedding anniversary next month. So he says he's hoping he can now celebrate with his wife Shirley. Interestingly, also at the Churchill Hospital in Oxford, where Brian got his vaccine, Professor Andrew Pollard, who leads the Oxford vaccine group, he was also vaccinated this morning. And as you said then, Kamali, these two are just two of 500,000 doses that are going to be given out to people from today. There's 6 hospital trusts across the country where this is going ahead. Now, the initial people being vaccinated are being asked to wait for a few minutes. They're being monitored in case of any reactions. This, of course, is also being done with the people getting the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine. But as we know, the advantage of the Oxford-AstraZeneca vaccine is the fact that it can be stored in fridges, it's easily transportable, it doesn't have to be frozen and kept at this -70, that the 70 degrees Celsius that the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine has to be kept at. So it can easily be rolled out to pharmacies, it can be rolled out to GP surgeries, it can even be taken to vaccine hubs, and it's expected that eventually there'll be like a drive-by vaccination programme where you will drive up, roll down your window, roll up your sleeve, be jabbed, then you drive off. And that's obviously fantastic news because, as you said, you know, the situation here in the UK is pretty poor. The vaccines rampaging everywhere, 50,000 new cases every day, and that's why there's a real need for this vaccine. The UK's Health Secretary, Matt Hancock, has called it a pivotal moment. And of course, he's proud because it is the vaccine that's been made here.
Absolutely. Congratulations to Brian. Plenty for him to celebrate in the coming days. And just talk us through then the inoculation programme, if you can, Nicola. The UK Health Secretary, Matt Hancock, was out and about this morning on the radio and TV shows talking up the programme. But is it going as he would like it to?
Yeah, that's a really interesting point. So if you remember, initially we were told that these vaccines would be a 2-dose vaccine. The Pfizer-BioNTech one, it's been trialled to have 1 dose and then to have that second booster dose 3 weeks later, and we were told that that would then increase the efficacy, make it 95% effective against the virus, although we don't know how long term it would be. The Oxford vaccine, it's still a bit vague exactly when is the best time to have this second dose. They're saying between 4 and 12 weeks apart. So because of that, and because of the rising numbers of infections here in the UK, the vaccine regulators recommended to the government that we needed to change the programme. So now people are being told that you have the first dose that gives you a certain amount of efficacy, and that you have the second dose 12 weeks later. Now, doctors' leaders were up in arms about this at the end of the year, saying, well, hang on a second, certainly the Pfizer-BioNTech trials have all said it's supposed to be done on a 3-week space between the 2 doses. But experts such as Professor Stephen Evans, who's from the London School of Tropical Medicine and an expert in this field, said basically it's better to give 1 dose to more people than 2 doses to a smaller number, just to try and contain the rising numbers of people who are becoming infected, particularly because we have this new variant in the UK, the one that's known to be more transmissible. So it's more easily spread. It's not necessarily more virulent or more dangerous. But because of that, that's why they're saying it's better to have the second dose 12 weeks apart. But it is leaving an awful lot of people in confusion. And I have to say, even my own mum, who's due to have her second dose of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine on Wednesday, has no idea whether that's going ahead or not.
My goodness. OK, well, Nicola, I hope your mum does get that jab, and thank you very much for that